Ask Orlando, is a monkey invasion headed our way? Sometime in the way-off future, a man resembling Charlton Heston rides a horse along a beach. He sees a large, charred structure jutting out of the sand. He drops to his knees and starts pounding the sand. "You maniacs! You blew it up," he wails. "Darn you! Darn you all to hell!" Above him looms the top of the Camping World Stadium scoreboard. It's a local version of the final scene in the original Planet of the Apes, and it brings us this week's Ask Orlando question. I saw where disease-carrying monkeys were spotted in Jacksonville and St. Augustine, the reader said. How worried should we be in Orlando? If you go by British tabloids, you should immediately pack the car and hightail it to Manitoba. Monkey mayhem feral, herpes-ridden monkeys invade Florida after escaping park as locals warned a bite could be fatal. That was the headline in The Sun a couple of weeks ago. The monkeys are actually an old story around here, though the mayhem appears to be spreading. It all began with 6 rhesus macaque monkeys at what's now Silver Springs State Park. A concessionaire named Colonel Tui imported them from Asia in late 1930s. Tui stuck them on an island, figuring they'd help drum up business for his jungle cruise boats. That apparently went well enough for him to import 6 more in the 1940s. Problem is, monkeys can swim. They got off the island, started monkeying around, and pretty soon the park had 300 to 400 of them. A smattering of them eventually began to stray beyond the park. That wasn't good, since the monkeys can carry a herpes B virus that really could be fatal to humans. State agencies have wrestled with population management for years. The problem is monkeys are too darned cute to kill. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is happy to post pictures of bounty hunters holding up lifeless Burmese pythons. It's harder to issue death warrants for Curious George. They're furry and look like people, said Dr. Steve Johnson, a wildlife ecologist at the University of Florida. Fortunately, the monkeys generally stuck near the park. But the occasional sightings, beyond Ocala, are becoming more frequent. The FWC reported 6 sightings in St. Johns County in 2019. One was spotted in Jacksonville last month. It's most likely a male who was kicked out of the park, Johnson said, or left his group and set out to be a dominant male and start breeding. Typical guy. Jacksonville is about 100 miles from Silver Springs. Orlando is 85 miles. And we have better tourist attractions. One could show up, Johnson said. You shouldn't just discount it as hallucinating. Unless you kiss a monkey or one throws poop in your face, the chances of getting the herpes virus are extremely remote. A 2018 study by the Centers for Disease Control found about 25% of Silver Springs monkeys carried herpes B. Johnson said the population is likely to grow fast if state agencies don't intervene. Even without herpes, a lot of new monkeys could throw Florida's ecological balance off kilter. It's not the monkeys' fault, Johnson said, but the bottom line is they shouldn't be here. I asked the FWC what its monkey management plans are. A spokesperson said such things are handled by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. I contacted the DEP. It said such things are handled by the FWC. I'm now waiting on the FWC to refer me to the Chinese Ministry of Infectious Diseases. This is really a loaded topic, Johnson said. That makes it difficult for the state to make any decisions. Such inability to govern was the basis of Planet of the Apes. Mankind messed around, blew up the world in a nuclear holocaust, and a bunch of erudite monkeys took over. Despite what you may have read in British tabloids, or in this column, that's not likely to happen here. As for a not-so-erudite monkey showing up in your backyard looking for a mate, I'd feel a whole lot better if they weren't so darned cute.